think the honorable thing for our species to do is deny our programming. Stop reproducing. Walk hand in hand into extinction. One last midnight, brothers and sisters opting out of a raw deal.
Do not trust any friends or family members. I repeat, do not trust friends.
That Jon Stewart, the rant that I saw where he's like, yeah, they're the oldest people to run, except for the last time. Like, how are we not doing better?
It's true. I don't know. They're in bad shape down there. Didn't they just Kate just was checking out some Alabama shit? You guys see that?
As you do. What do you mean?
They passed a law saying that frozen fucking vitro eggs were fucking babies and had the rights of babies.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the old embryos.
So now they're like, if you, and since you only have a 25% chance of in vitro inception or whatever being successful, then you're killing.
Oh my God.
3 out of 4 babies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
You know, you're murderers. So
Holy
you can't
shit.
do that. And it's very confusing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
This is the only reason I have faith.
But it is keeping you off getting mad at billionaires.
That's true. Yeah. This is the only reason I have faith that Republicans will lose, because I think the abortion issue is so huge that, and like, you know, consistently in these runoffs, Republicans are losing on that issue.
Yeah, I guess it really comes down to how, like, remember, and again, getting back to Bush or whatever, remember like the phrase American Taliban? You know, like for describing no, it was a way of like, it was a way of like projecting, because you know, they ostensibly they went into Afghanistan to free the women and stuff, right? And so the argument is that, you know, like, well, I don't know what the argument was, but the comparison was like the sort of fundamentalism that they're battling abroad is the very same fundamentalism that they're fostering at home.
Oh, 100%.
And yeah, I mean,
yeah, they love
things...
Sharia law. They just want it to be Christian.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. No, I
hot take.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. And I guess it just really comes down to like the appetite of the American citizenry for, well, I guess for Sharia law with a Christian slant, you know, with, you know, to have that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That kind of intense theocracy, you know. Yeah, you get self-driving cars, and you know you get you know, heck, bring back slavery. Why not? You know.
Yeah, bring back all the classics.
The Elon Mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the Elon Mobile got a damning consumer report? Or
is this the Cybertruck?
Just all electric vehicles have 100% more defects.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. It's a fucking toilet bowl of problems.
My buddy just bought a Tesla last weekend.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
He's going to recall town.
Well, the good news is that technology is going to keep him safe. And America's greatest technology is going to, if he just trusts it and doesn't get into any of those blood and guts things, he's going to be fine.
Yeah, technology is the way to go.
Yeah. Not that technology, though.
So today on the Extinction Agenda, we've got ourselves a bit of a treat, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Like a raw meat diet treat.
Like a slurry, just put into some sort of like sack and broiled, steamed hams. So today, enjoying a steamed ham on the Extinction Agenda are James,
Chris.
All right, and we're watching Rambo First Blood Part 2. Fuck, you know how much disdain I have for this movie? I didn't even look up who's our director here, or I didn't bother to figure out who the director is and how to pronounce his name. It's George P. Cosmatos. I did read about him a little bit. He's
it sounds Greek.
Italian.
Got me.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no! You know what, man? Greek Italian.
There you go.
Sorry, but he was born in Florence, so I assume, you know. And he did Massacre in Rome and, a bunch of Italian films before. But yeah, he had a long fucking career, like active years, 1960 to 1997. Did a bunch of movies with Peter Weller that
that's an
do
odd.
horror movies, yeah, in 83 and 89, which one of them, Leviathan, has recently been re-released in, I think, 4K just this week. I happened to hear it.
No shame in treating yourself to Leviathan.
Yeah. Big shame in treating yourself to Rambo First Blood Part 2. So I'd never seen this movie. Actually, well, who stars in this? Sylvester Stallone. We got a screenplay by Sylvester Stallone and James Cameron. Our favorite Richard Crenna is back with some new individuals. And this movie was a huge movie. I didn't realize how big this fucking movie, $300 million box office back then was like a big deal in 1985. Yeah.
Ronald Reagan was a Rambo fan.
That's right. Yeah.
Gave the thumbs up.
Everyone's
said
a Rambo fan.
Well, I'm not a Rambo.
There were lunchboxes. There was the cartoon. Remember that?
I do recall a cartoon. Yeah. Video games.
This is in the same vein for me as the RoboCop scenario, where it was like, for whatever reason, they were like, hey, like we just need to market this to kids also, even though it's not even close to being appropriate for kids.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna push back on that. I think this movie is totally appropriate. This is a teen action drama. It has nothing adult about it whatsoever. This is prime for like a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old. Heck, maybe even a 12-year-old. There's no, even the violence is cartoonish, absolutely cartoonish. So I'm gonna at least on this one, maybe the third movie. I'm willing to be corrected on the third movie, but this one's rated R, and I don't know why. I
think it's just age. I thought the R rating was sort of like structured a little differently back then.
Yeah, but let's get back to RoboCop. Like, RoboCop's definitely not for children, and I talk about that often. That's your classic example, and also rated R. R used to. When I think of a rated R movie in the 80s, like, the shit's raw. You're getting Videodrome. You're getting something. Rambo First Blood Part 2. I don't know what the step down from rated R was, but it probably should have been that.
You know what it probably was is the Hellraiser-ish moment where he explodes that guy with the rocket launcher.
That's funny though.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. That's awesome.
That's just that's camp.
Honestly, actually, they I'm sure we're all familiar with the Hot Shots movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, Hot Shots Part 2, which was the Rambo parody.
Mm-hmm.
I think he actually does explode someone with like a chicken arrow, and they mimic the scene almost exclusively, and it was just a comedy movie, a PG comedy.
Yeah, there's a franchise we should get back to, huh?
Well, maybe we shouldn't bring up Hot Shots Part 2 too often. But
but if anyway, I'm trying to see if it was also rated R, and I can't quite immediately figure it out. So, okay, I guess cards on the table. Clearly, I didn't really care for this movie, as much, it, frankly, it kind of bored me. I think there's still lots to talk about, though, but I was I just sat there without even, the childish enjoyment of an ultra-violent shitfest.
It was a real slow burn,
Mm-hmm.
A lot of plot, a lot of Rambo introspectively looking sad, I guess, and being like, I don't know if the audience is supposed to be in this state of assumption that he's intelligent, and he's taking everything in quietly. It's like they all have to kind of tiptoe around him because he's he's PTSD war torn autistic or whatever. So they're trying to fucking sort out what's wrong with him. Sure this guy's up for it. Seems a little fucking whacked.
Well, he did go on a rampage and kill
nobody.
No, way back when. What do you mean? I'm sorry, did he not kill?
Movie?
Did he not kill anyone?
He didn't kill anybody.
Oh, okay.
He just shot up a town, but like, you know.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
okay.
well, hey,
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, he did like $30 million in property damage though,
Sort of.
with
Okay.
like
Yeah, that's true.
RPGs and stuff. There's only
You're right.
Like a
you can't let
superhero.
that fly. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But I mean, I guess depending on how he was prosecuted, like that guy in the helicopter fell out or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't kill him, but it was sort of like in the line of this guy trying to like take Rambo out, died. So
I think in
the cops
America-
probably threw the book at him.
I think if he had killed people, then maybe he would have got the death penalty. But I mean, ultimately, this is a stupid fiction.
Yeah.
But you're right, though. He didn't kill anybody. You're still, yeah. But the Rampage, they're not sure about him. I don't and I don't care for this this cerebral version of John Rambo that we're getting in this movie. It feels like a completely different character, because the Rambo that we saw in the first movie was like highly effective, but like simple, like really simple. You didn't really get the sense that he was taking in anything.
Well, he's activated, you know.
Yeah. Well, now he's. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is his permanent state now.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that take.
I
He's
shouldn't have messed with him. Yeah, and this movie, like, I don't know what version you watched, and I don't know if there's any other version, but it literally opens up with a giant explosion.
Yes, I made note of that.
Very jarring.
Yeah.
And then you go to a rock quarry, which looks like it cost $20,000 to film at most. I think that was another thing about this movie that really brings up my ire, is just like, why does this look so bad?
Yeah, it did look kind of cheap, but I don't know if it's just like the translation to small.
It looks like they were on location. Like
they were.
They were on location. Yeah. But they weren't. Where were they? They were in. I looked this up. They were in like
Thailand or something.
Yeah, I think so.
And
anywhere where
Hawaii,
they could.
maybe.
Yeah, like they didn't even. That actress. I'm not convinced was even Asian.
Oh yeah, what's her name? Julia Nixon. You didn't.
No, I wasn't buying it.
Well, she was born in Singapore, so all right, we can. Guess we got to give her
All
that.
right, well, okay, well that's gonna be my bad there.
Yeah, while attending the University of Hawaii, Nixon was a model in Honolulu. But she's, I don't know, Singaporean born. So I don't know. Her biography is a little sparse on the old. She's a practicing Scientologist, though, or was. She died. Did she die?
Yeah, I think so. 2021.
Oh, okay. Well, rest in peace. Anyway, she doesn't come off very well as a Vietnamese. Let's say that. It's not like.
Oh man, she's not dead. She's 65. That one's on me.
Okay, yeah.
That one's on me,
okay.
boys.
Yeah. Sometimes the internet lets you down. I wasn't going to argue with you. I was like, she's dead.
My bite on that being a common name.
Okay, gotcha. So I almost called him Conan. Rambo he's more cerebral in this. He's been asked by what's the guy's fucking name? Troutman. There we go. Troutman shows up and he's like, "Look, we got one job for you, Rambo. You know, like, can we win this time, Sarge?"
Oh yeah.
This time it's up to you. Yeah, and that Rambo, I'm cool with that opening Rambo, because he seems dumb as fuck. And I was like, okay, that's right. Just you're gonna get that big meathead asshole out of prison and send him terrassing through Vietnam. That's a good idea. It's
so on the nose too. The just like you want to be here? At least in here I know where I stand. Just like
yeah, that's perfect.
Really petulant, you know.
And he only has 5 more years to go. You want to stay here for 5 more years, and you look over and everybody's wearing clean shirts and they're just in the open air, just like slamming away at stuff.
Yeah, like no one's being tortured or anything. It's just like they're sort of working like a 9 to 5 and probably getting like square meals. And,
yeah.
It's like I would rather that than go fight the Vietnamese again, to be honest with you. Yeah.
No, but he's like Frank Castle. He wants to get back to the. He wants to get back to man.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly. This is it.
So does he tell him early on about I forget, does he tell him about the POWs, or did he just say he has a mission and?
No, he tells him early.
Okay.
He tells him off the cuff. There's 2,500 missing POWs. You know, we don't know. It was assumed that they've all been executed or whatever, but they suspect they may have some in a camp. But if you did find some, you take photographs, you basically return. That's it.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's how Rambo's going to handle the situation.
I loved how hilariously mismatched he was to the mission, where they're like, yeah, like it's going to be a recon mission, and then Troutman keeps being like, he's the best combat vet I've ever seen. It's like, these don't align. This is not going to go well.
Well, he just needs to take some pictures, you know?
Yeah.
Pictures.
It's true too. He's literally like, after they finish talking to him, he sharpens up his Bowie knife and all these like different, like basically they're pure assassination weapons. Arrows, the explosive tip, which apparently we find out later on incinerate people.
I did think about that as that was happening.
So like, why is he bringing that shit with him?
Yeah.
Like I'd say like a standard firearm, even an automatic weapon, that's so excessive.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, they give him Go ahead.
One thing this wants to do, and this might be a good point to talk a little bit about the James Cameron element, because so the original script is the first draft done by James Cameron, who basically later says, I was looking at an interview with him, and he's like, yeah, like I had no money. I was Terminator 1 was going to start, but like I had no job, and like I just kind of did this as a way to pay the bills. And he met with Stallone like once over lunch, and Stallone was like, yeah, I think you should put a woman in the movie. And that was pretty much the extent of the conversation. So he does this like script, which is more, I've been reading over a little bit. I didn't get that far into it, but it's not that good. Like it's better than this, but it has its flaws. You know, it's a first draft. There's this weird buddy that like is sort of like this idiot, like it's sort of like a hotshot, like I don't know, like surfer kind of guy. And he's really relying on tech and sort of bumbles around the jungle. Well, Rambo is like the silent killer, you know, and just like relies on his knife. And so
it's a what do you call it? Like a Rob Schneider effect.
It's like a buddy cop, like a Rob Schneider buddy cop thing or something. It's weird. It's a very strange tone, even though it does try to pay like some respect to it respects the first movie more than this one does. That's for sure. Yeah. But they do recapture that feeling with the botched Halo drop, where it's like it's so on the nose, where he's like he's hanging onto his pack, and like they're like freaking out. He's like, oh, he's cutting away his technology, and like literally he has to like let go of that all the stuff the government gives him.
Did they do that? Like so now listen, I felt like that didn't add a damn thing to the plot. It didn't change his timeline, because he immediately jumps out of a drop botch where he should be miles and miles, like probably fucking probably like 30 miles away from his fucking contact, because that botch drop lasted so long. But he just literally jumps out of the plane and he's back with his contact, and that plot point has no value at all. So you think it's literally only for the analogy that he's cut away his technology?
I think so.
That's the only thing they use it for.
It's like a one-upmanship on like, you know, this new military. It's soft. It's gone the wrong direction. Like it's what really matters is like in some like manly way, you know, like Rambo's a real man. He's there with it. He's pure.
It's immediately there. Like when Troutman shows up at the fence, he's like, our computer just spit out 3 names. Like what computer? Like there's this idea that like not just the military, but almost like the technocratic state.
Yes.
And like I'm definitely getting ahead of ourselves here, but like I might as well say it, you know, like the first thing he does when he finally gets back to base is like shoot up all the computers, right?
Yes.
Like in some sort of grand symbolic gesture. And that flight in the airplane is like his symbolic separation from the inefficiencies of the technocratic state and its hollow promises. Like this movie,
you're giving that's so much subtext credit you're giving it.
I'm pretty sure it's text, man. Like it
literally
happened, you know.
I guess, but it's like it's so minimal, like the presentation of it.
Well, even when they give him the mission and like tell him like he's very displeased by the fact that he's not going to be rescuing POWs, and they tell him, trust the technology, let the technology do most of the work, try to forget the war, remember the mission. They really anchor this failure of the state.
And I would go. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying to the tech.
And I would go one further and say that it is like, in the same way that this movie is anti-communist, it's anti-technology for the same reason. The sort of like the technocratic impulse is a sort of collectivist impulse. Like subsume yourself to the collective. Don't join the Borg.
Yeah, and actually that's great because like really what this movie wants to say, and it's sort of like in a weird way it's trying to purify itself of politics by focusing purely on POWs, and that is so the message is so much that the individual matters, like in this very American way, like you can't leave a single man behind.
Yeah, and it's a shame, and there's more to say about let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But because even actually, and there was a callback to the first movie when what was Napier's character, the Murdoch. Great names, and I'll get this movie. Great names all day. Everyone's
is Murdoch the
shithead,
slimy guy?
Yeah.
Oh, the Cobra Kai guy? No, the bureaucrat guy.
The bureaucrat guy. Yeah, the guy that's like and that's established like right immediately because Rambo's like because he lies.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said I was stationed here with this group of guys, and I know what it's like to lose men.
Yeah.
And then fucking John walks out a minute later and he's like, the fucking guy lied.
Yeah.
You're the only one I trust.
And this gets, again, back to the cerebral Rambo. Like, he's memorized where all the battalions were and stuff. Like, I guess it kind of, like, it does make sense.
Fucking right, he did.
Yeah.
He's the only one that knows that jungle.
Yeah. And that's sort of a Frank Castle thing. Like, I believe that Frank Castle would have memorized where all the platoons were and stuff like that. I was thinking though when so Murdoch, he's part of a committee to some sort of Senate committee, some sort of bullshit apparatus that we're going to go back to Vietnam and we're going to investigate whether our POWs are there and we're going to get them out. He asks for something cold, and in the background there's the Coke dispenser, just like at the end of the first movie. Drink Coke, bring me something cold, and it's all there. It's that's the form of American imperialism. And I just love how, like, I forget the quote, but they're like, Rambo's like, nobody cares, and he's like, my committee cares. And I just I don't know, I just like that phrase. It's so hollow and stupid. It's such as he doesn't say he cares. My committee cares. Nice little touch. Anyway,
you're talking yourself right into enjoying this.
Like I said, there's a lot to say about this movie. I think this movie operates on like a larger symbolic level, and if you asked me for a reason why Rambo 2 was so popular, I don't think it's because it was a good movie. I think it's because it said something that America wanted to hear. And it did it in the dumbest, loudest way possible. And everybody, it's pure propaganda. In sort of, in the way that like it what's the word? It made it okay to love Vietnam again. No other movie up until this point, I don't think had, and I'm could totally be wrong. Made it safe to just be okay with the Vietnam War and to like get behind the troops and stuff like that. Because movies up until this point just talked about the toxicity of it and the stupidity of it and blah, 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 and this and that. And like think back to Platoon, I don't know. Pick an example. It's going to be about the evils of humanity and stuff like that. And this movie does not want to do. It kind of wants to talk about that, but it really doesn't. It certainly doesn't want to blame the soldiers for anything. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get there. Stupid. Okay, where's my notes? Stupid airdrop. Check. Rambo remembers all battalions. Check. How did we feel when he got finally in the jungle? I guess James, you already talked about that, but
oh my god, he's like a kid in a playground. He's just like bouncing around. He grabs that snake and chokes it out as his dangling arm.
Yeah, he's a beauty. The best part too, or one of the nice parts too, I like when she rolls him in and he's like, "You're fucking working with pirates." And he ends up with this like ramshackle crew of like just shady Joe Blow fucking pirates, like on like what? I guess that was their only option, but fuck, it's a bad call.
Well, they're trying to keep a low profile. Then the pirates, I'm trying to get a beat on these guys. I'm trying to get them like in front of me.
The one who's got his shirt tied up at the bottom like a fucking like an old drunk Vietnamese uncle or whatever. He's got it like tied up like almost like a teenage girl at the bottom.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like Britney Spears. Yeah.
And he's like showing off his rocket and just rolling around with a bottle of rum. Like he can't trust any of these guys. And it actually later on in the film when he dispatches all of them fairly easily, that all tracks.
Yeah. Except for that, like when they're strangling him, I think that's again adding to my distaste for this movie. Like he's killed them all, he's super effective, and you don't get the sense that he's in any danger. And then all of a sudden, like someone just comes from the roof and like Garrett wires him, and like
that guy was asleep the whole time. Old Sleepy Sam got him.
I think he was distracted in that moment, right? Like he was trying to get off the boat because wasn't there other boats?
There's another boat,
shit, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna collide. It's gonna be a problem.
And pirates are sneaky. You can't, you can kill like 7 of them, but the 8th one's gonna just.
That's the one that gets you. Yeah. Snake eyes. I can't. It just like it lasted for so long, and he's so like.
Yeah.
I think another thing that makes me think that this movie is just like so not rated R is he never suffers a wound. In this movie, like he has
the scarring.
Okay, fine. But even after like being Garrett wired for a minute, he's fine. Being electrocuted by a fucking box spring, fine. Like anything they do to him, there's no sign of wear and tear on him, or really anyone. Even the POW. Well, the POWs look like shit, but it's like fuck.
Oh yeah, they're in bad shape. They're like one guy's like just like twitching while tarantulas crawl over him, and then there's another guy who like it looks like a rat's going for his crotch where the camera pans off him.
Just laying around. What the fuck? Like for how long? Like when he asks him later, like what year is it? 1985, and he's like, oh, like why did it, like if they're gonna keep like why are they moving the prisoners around? Why are they keeping them in such horrible conditions for decades? Like
it's like maybe like the Vietnamese in this movie are like as pure as Rambo. Like they just don't leave the war behind either.
Oh wow, that's a good way of looking at it.
They're a mirror image,
Yeah.
But that's a whole fucking country. So that's that's
they're a small portion. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but they are like maybe if we're like a charitable view is like they're the small faction within Vietnam which can't let go of the war either, and they just hold the POWs in the hopes that Rambo will come and napalm them.
Yeah, that's
a sick death wish. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's not a very charitable view, actually. Now that I've said that out loud.
No, and we do know why they're holding them.
Because the Americans didn't pay up.
Yeah, don't negotiate with terrorists.
Funny though, I didn't look anything up about that, about like the promise to pay reparations and the POWs that remained in the background. Like is that true? It strikes me as true.
I'm not sure. Kate watched a little bit of this with me too, and she actually asked were these torture methods actually being used at this time, or was this happening at any point in time in the
the electric box spring?
No, not that move. The pool of refuse or whatever tactic.
Oh, I would imagine something like that would be in like that. Yeah, I think so. Here's my evidence for this is very low. Werner Herzog did a documentary about a dude who was in a POW camp in, I think, Vietnam, because he was an Air Force pilot that crashed. They made a movie about it starring Batman. That guy who played Batman.
Christian Bale?
Christian Bale, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that movie. That was...
Yeah, and so that's based off of like a true account. And that guy, that was some fucking awful shit. So there's some truth to it. I mean, this is, frankly, what is displayed here is kind of tame, and again, that adds to my this is not an R-rated movie argument. Yeah, I guess there's some to it, but yeah, I don't know what anyway, I'm curious about the historicity of the reparations question. I never crossed my mind to even be something to consider, not being an American.
I guess that would mean that, like, basically the POWs would have just been tortured or starved to death that entire time.
I don't know what the value of keeping them at all would be, frankly. If like,
if if you got to the point where there were no reparations being paid.
Yeah, and just like, well, they're not going to do anything, like, and it costs money to keep these people, and they're the enemy, so perhaps I'll just shoot them, or they'll die very quickly. I just don't believe that they would survive for decades under these conditions,
No.
It does seem unlikely.
They wouldn't treat them like I read some cool things about them. They would like use like a steel bar and shackle you with steel shackles and steel boots, and then they'd pull your arms up over your shoulders and dislocate both of your shoulders and just leave you like in agony in iron shackles like that.
Well, that's classic. The Inquisition did things like that as well. It's a pretty kind of a classic. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, man, that's a classic technique.
Yeah. There's a word for it. There's a name. It's not going to come to me anytime soon, but there's anyway. Yeah. What I learned from this movie is to survive a war, you got to become war.
That's great. Yeah, it's true.
That's how you also seduce women on your journey as well.
And now, okay, that's an open question. Who seduced who in this?
Oh no, for sure she did, but she like fell in love with
Rambo
him
had Rambo had no interest in her at all. He doesn't feel that way.
You know what it was though? Like when he describes like she's like, first of all, her fake don't know how to speak English way of delivering lines is offensive.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Listen, you know what? I think you need to calm down. Yeah.
It's not her fault. But I'm just like, is this really happening? Like, they've got her out there talking like she's fucking Tarzan.
Oh, it's written into the Cameron script. Like, it was so glaring. I was like, this is nice. I think you should do that.
Well,
it's a different time.
Well, it was a different time.
Yeah, because it's established early on that they like Rambo can speak Vietnamese and she's speaking Vietnamese, and so I initially took it to. Oh yeah, and I actually have a question. Did you guys have any subtitles for any of the Vietnamese text in your? No, okay,
I can't remember now. I don't think so.
Okay, I just wasn't sure.
What good is that? You don't need that.
I didn't, but I was still curious, right? Because sometimes subtitles show up when you're like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's established that they can still sort of talk to each other, and I took it at first to be that they were still speaking Vietnamese, but then I realized that they weren't because she was talking like an idiot.
No, the subtitles actually clearly state speaking Vietnamese, and that's it.
Oh, okay. They let you.
So you're just supposed to be in the dark, or who knows if they're actually even speaking Vietnamese?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Go ahead.
Did she get into the stuff about her brother because now I'm confused between the script I was reading.
The original.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't recall anything like that.
It's a much more complicated character. I mean, like, she's a little more rounded in the original script, and like even they really dumbed down her role.
Yeah. I think that her ability to seduce Rambo, which she did, was based on, I think she appealed to he has that like sort of general want to be removed from war and restart his life, and that's like, that was apparent in the first movie, and that's sort of like a character continuation, and I feel like that's when he sort of came around to her. I think does that make sense?
No, it's tied to that. It's part of that, but I think it's a little more tied into the symbolism of this, the reactionary nature of Rambo First Blood Part 2. So they're having that conversation about like, what does expendable mean? And he's like, if there's a party and like no one would care if you showed up, you fucking piece of shit.
Well, that was a great moment.
Fine. So in that moment, she, but afterwards she looks at him, she realizes about this guy, like, this guy's just lonely. This guy doesn't think anybody wants to. Right. Yeah, nobody wants to party with this dude. And so she turns to him and she basically says, I think you're cool. Like, you're not expendable, Rambo. And that's when he falls in love.
Yeah, no, you not expendable.
Yeah, yeah, say it right. And and so in that moment, so up until that point, Rambo's entire existence had been predicated on, sort of war fighting. And so he was in this abusive relationship with the American government and American society, and the stab in the back myth and all that shit. Like, he doesn't trust anybody except for Troughton, and I'm not sure why that is. And so in that moment, he's able to re-identify with the family unit. He removes himself from war fighting and from the bureaucracy and technology and all that bullshit, and the deceit, and he's able to think about the transition to the family, making it all the more tragic when
what did you describe it as?
Industrial level fridging, because it was just by the numbers. So they they finally express their love to each other, and they're like, I love you, and we're gonna go back to America and have babies. And
within the blink of an eye, action wise, I'm not even sure what happened. She shot square in the chest and she's sizzling.
Yeah. Some dude that had showed up earlier who was banging that sex worker shows up out of nowhere and guns her down, and then that's the dude that gets arrow exploded.
Oh, no shit! I didn't catch that.
Oh, I think so. Maybe I'm misremembering how it went. I'm sure I can find it as we go along here. Actually, no, maybe I'm wrong. Does he get gunned down? She get gunned down by the helicopter? No, it's that fucking guy. Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, now this is a 5-star movie. I didn't realize tied together so neatly.
Oh no, actually, don't trust me on this. I can't find it easily in my memory.
I'm looking at the mustache guy here now. The sex worker's giving him the old shin rub. To come back into the old tiki hut.
So they're gonna have they have the kiss meeting at an hour 3 or an hour 5, which is like earlier in the movie than I seem to recall. And yeah, they're getting the kiss, blah blah blah. There we go. She's shot immediately after. I can't fucking rewind properly.
It's like literally immediately. It's so fucking
right away. And I was just like, oh geez, I even wrote a poem about it.
Yes, you did. It was a great poem.
A beautiful poem.
What the fuck is this?
That reminded me, or brought to mind, in Rambo Last Blood, and now I now feel like I only love the first and last of these movies. but anyway,
you're gonna find out because we have lots left.
That's true. Just how like blatant the fridging was in that one too. Like the sort of like his adopted adopted niece or daughter or whatever, but she was only there to like get addicted to heroin and then like die so that he can go on his insane holy vengeance, you know. It's just that's a pet. Don't be a woman in a Rambo movie.
So she gets killed by an entire squad of dudes, and so then he hugs her, and she's, you know, he's like, oh no.
Oh yeah.
And then I think the only survivor of the squad is Mr. Mustache, but it's going by too slowly for me to say. And anyway, and so like, what's Rambo left with after that? Like, if we follow this symbolism,
war.
I'm not even like, I think, but so he shows up at the end, and he like, I think it's an ultimate sort of renunciation of war. Like, he does get to the place you were talking about, James, but I don't, like, if I remember correctly, like Rambo 3 starts off with him. He stays in Vietnam.
Sorry.
He stays in Vietnam, and he ends up in like this like pit fighting lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what becomes of him, because he doesn't know what else to fucking do.
Sorry, I laughed in the middle of that. I just revisited the fridging.
Right.
The cinematography is like, she just walks out of a little glen. They're hiding. They're they can't be tracked because they're going down a river.
Yeah.
And they're hiding, and there's no possible way that they could have known they were sitting there. And then she just walks out, and the screenshot is just like literally of an AK-47.
Right.
It's just a huge, like a close up on an AK, just like peppering her straight in the chest.
Yeah. It's wild. Like and that gets back to my argument that this movie operates largely in the realm of symbol, because like it's so cold, it's so nothing. It's like you can either, you have the, like, actually that's the like my symbolism position is the most charitable interpretation of this movie. Otherwise, this movie is like the B-est of B movies, with just a really high budget.
Yeah.
And nothing under the hood.
Well, you're making me think that comment, the casual comment of like, you should put a woman in the movie. Like, what does that mean to Stallone at that point? You know,
you not forget me.
Yeah, it's like we need her to like provide some emotional depth juice to Rambo.
Well, I think like Adrian, you know, like think back to Rocky and whatnot. I mean, like he's, you know, I don't think Adrian got fridged.
No, she definitely does not.
Yeah, so like I mean, he's definitely that way in this movie. I mean, maybe Hollywood got to him, man.
Does he wear? I want to know if he wears that little jade necklace through all the Rambo movies.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah,
because he just put it on. Fuck, I didn't.
Yeah, his headband first, and then like in the same sort of style of like ceremony, the jade necklace, and then he's going to war. Her good luck charm,
and it's fucking over.
Yeah.
Kill all the. What do we think of the Russians in this movie? I thought that was sort of superfluous.
Yeah. They came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like a relay race of like America as enemies, you know, handing off the baton to like the next generation. But then,
well, it implies that the POWs are kept in Vietnam at the behest of the Russians. And you know, it's a Cold War. It's the Cold War.
Yeah.
And like, it doesn't make any sense though. None of it's explained. And again, back to my symbolism thing. Like, like what benefit is gained by any of this other than you get an opportunity for Stallone to do his Rambo thing against all these Spetsnaz guys.
Yeah.
Did he give her a proper burial? Shouldn't he have been caught?
Oh, did he bury her?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he put her in the mud and everything, didn't he?
Then he killed everybody.
Yeah.
He's that good, but not good enough to prevent her from getting killed.
No, well, nobody could. You know, like, it's cosmic forces and stuff, man. Like the fridging.
What about the guy that got dragged? Did you guys enjoy that guy?
Oh, like when he.
Oh, by the veins with the vines. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
That was
amazing. The look of terror on his face. He's
super
like,
weird.
yeah.
I don't. Okay, so another complaint that I have about this movie is like one thing about the first movie when Rambo's in the forest. It is very much like Batman taking down some goons, and like he's scary, and it's filmed in an interesting way or whatever. And like they're like I can see this director's kind of trying to do some of this, but I find that Rambo's too visible in the action and in his sneaking and stuff.
Well,
I think he's
I
like
can-
more overt now. I'm attributing that back to Chris's. I'm giving this back to Chris and saying it's because he's activated now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that doesn't make it good though. Like I think as a film, like in terms of, I don't know, art or, like what have you, like effect, let's say that effect. It doesn't feel like a spirit of the forest coming alive to swallow you.
What about the mud? What about the
yeah, I
mud
was gonna
move?
say there's a good moment where he comes out of the mud wall.
Yeah, I took that as a Predator thing. When did Predator come out? Is that
I think
before or
that
after?
would have been after. Predator would have been after. I feel like Predator maybe took some cues from this, to be honest.
That's an R-rated movie. Predator.
Yeah, true. yeah. For sure.
Yes, proper. I feel like Rambo, I don't know, like Hunger Games and Legolas, like a lot of people owe Rambo a lot.
Well, how many video games want to give you this experience? I was thinking, like there's like the stealth element and like the sneaking around, crawling under huts. Like it feels very Metal Gear in a way. Yeah.
I had that same thought actually. I was like, this feels so much like a video game. But it predates video games as we understand them. So yeah. I'll buy that. And yeah, very Metal Gear in the way that everything is very open and visible and kind of goes through the motions of stealth. Looks like stealth, but it's not really,
Yeah.
It's very heavy metal also. I read that that Stallone just continuously did his own stunts also and has had like vertebrae fusions and broken necks and like all types of fucking awful shit. He jumped out of that tree in the first Rambo movie and busted ribs.
Oh.
I recall that.
And I guess in one of his Rocky movies he got punched in the face by Dolph for real and ended up in intensive care.
Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess
that'll happen when Dolph gets you.
He says he regrets that he didn't use stuntmen, but I feel like you can feel that it's him. That's
a good point, and maybe like a kind of like Jackie Chan, right?
Yeah, it's authentic. Like yes, yeah, I know we're detractors here so far of this movie, but I mean, like in terms of like a pure 80s action movie, I don't know, man. This has got to be like, if you're looking for an 80s action movie, I don't know that this is gonna make you sad.
No,
I
for
think
sure.
If you're going to put it in the category of the 80s action movie, like the generic 80s action movie, yeah, this is, fine. This is a archetypical example of it. But I don't think that's to its credit. It depends on how you feel. Like if you just want that experience, yeah, I would recommend. I guess if anybody asked me like what does an action movie look like in 1986 if I wasn't interested in art at all, and I would be like, Rambo 2, have at her. You're gonna experience what you want to experience.
Yeah.
I'm really meditate on that.
Yeah, I'm really just interested in thinking through like why. So Stallone like really heavily edits this like it becomes his movie. A lot of these changes are his own.
The script,
yeah. So I just like what is it about? How did it become this like pure action? I mean, it became a vehicle. And remember that Stallone was like sort of like thought the first movie was going to kill his career. I was like, you know what, just cut me out of most of it. And and it ended up making it like accidentally a much better movie. Because like you didn't see as much of Rambo, and now it's become this sort of like what he wished it could be. Maybe
Mhm.
what he thought would be better for his career, which is like that action slant. And it's just curious how he's purged. Like in the original scene, it was supposed to be they find him in a psychiatric hospital. He's
Mhm.
been there's acknowledgement that the first movie happened and that he's like a guy who suffers from PTSD. And I don't know, it's like, why make these changes, purging all of that? Maybe it is just sort of like, I don't know, like the masculinity thing, like the sort of like
Yeah.
passing the torch. Yeah, it's just like,
Here's a story that I'm inclined to give credence to. So Schwarzenegger, the rivalry apparently between Schwarzenegger and no, it wouldn't have been for this movie. So it was for some other fucking movie. Anyway, there was a rivalry at the time between him and Schwarzenegger as it is understood. And as Schwarzenegger tells the story, he used to kind of purposefully fuck around with what he perceived to be Stallone's lack of, I don't know, his desire to be Arnie-esque. And so he would sometimes, like, I forget the examples, but he would sometimes like say like pretend to be interested in scripts and then back out of it or something like that in an effort to like seduce Stallone towards those projects. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I'm inclined to believe that it is true.
sure.
And I just wonder, I just wonder if something as simple as that is at play. Like, there's a man out there whose body is the thing that people show up to see, and he has no, like his movies have no subtext, generally, unless like James Cameron's involved. Otherwise, you're watching fucking Twins. And it's just like he's this force that like fills a space and makes space for itself. And Stallone wants in on that, that like he at this point he's becoming he's presenting his body in a way that I don't even think the Rocky movies were doing. Like you didn't get I don't recall anyway. Like obviously he's shirtless a lot of the time or whatever, but it wasn't like he wasn't presenting himself as a Greek or Roman ideal in those, but then by this time he is.
This is very persuasive. Yeah, that probably is the secret sauce simmering in all of this.
Yeah, it's definitely part of it.
That's on par with like Arnold behavior.
Yeah, right.
Because there was a story about Predator where he told Wardrobe to tell Jesse Ventura when they were doing stuff for Predator that his arms were bigger than Arnold's, and then apparently when they were working out, they said let's measure our arms, and he said, yeah, perfect. Whoever's arms are bigger or whatever smaller has to buy dinner or some shit.
Right.
And then Arnold knew like damn well that his arms were 3 inches bigger than Jesse's or whatever.
He set him up. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
But he's like
that.
A troll that way.
Yeah,
that was like his thing back then.
Yeah.
So that I don't know. I feel like that tracks a bit, but
yeah. Like who knows, right? Like it's his account. I don't think Stallone would ever. Although there is recently been a documentary on, probably produced by Stallone. I think I saw it on Netflix or Prime or something like that. I don't remember how I bumped into it, but anyway, and I don't even know how new it is, to be honest, but it seems pretty new. I just don't know if like in any of those moments where did he'd ever be truly candid about that.
Who is Stallone?
Yeah, Stallone's like
no, he has a massive ego.
Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, like, I'm watching the movie that produced such a thing, right?
Rightly so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and not to mention his writing and directing prowess. Like, I mean, you may fucking, he earned the right to be a cocky fucker. Whatever.
Yeah, well, that's the fascinating thing, because like Rocky is nuanced. Like it's it really is such a great movie on many levels. And then to kind of have it put through or like a strainer and like kind of get to this level of screenwriting, it's like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, but the whole time we've been talking, and James, you've been kind of like balking at this. Is like, I'm talking about how this movie operates at a sort of symbolic level. I think that's Stallone, right? Like, I think like there's an intelligence behind this. As stupid
Yes.
as this fucking movie is, he's taking whatever Cameron produced, and he's creating a slurry, a Stallone slurry, but he understands that movies are about something, and you know, generally speaking, I mean, at least in this case, there's something for him to latch onto.
Yeah.
Like that
I
he wants like sort of he wants a mythos. He wants to make sure he's like got the American propaganda involved. And
yes.
like this reactionary mythology that he's establishing here. It's purposeful and symbolically calibrated towards it. I don't know why he chose to go that route. Like, I mean, that's for him to say, but.
Here's a quote from Cameron. I provided the action, Stallone provided the politics.
Okay. Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, and
No.
also I like this. While Cameron does not want to totally disassociate himself from Rambo, he does find the ending of the Stallone vehicle breathtaking in its stupidity.
Well, because like the whole movie amounts to support the troops. I just wish America loved the troops. And then he leaves, walks off into the desert. And you're just like, all that for that?
First threatening the bureaucrat, right? Okay, find the POWs or I'll find you.
Yeah. And like it's so fucking dumb. Like at the beginning when Troughton's like, frankly, you're fucked. Rambo's gonna come get you. And smash cut to him like in a swamp with leeches all over him. Soon to be electrocuted on like that. Like I will say like that inaugurated this movie has like torture porn elements attached to it. Like he's all like beefed up. Like I'm sure that this is highly arousing to a certain subclass of humans who just like this is their kink.
Yeah, me.
Yeah. Just tie him up and electrocute him on the bed.
Yeah, I'm watching him with that fucking M60 just vibrating. Damn.
Oh yeah, give him
it. And that Russian dude, oh, you want to test your strength.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Oh.
Yeah. I kind of like that I was that stuck out to me as well, but I took it different. I like that. I do like that exchange though. You want to test your strength, but they always like you're the strongest I've ever encountered, yeah, it's so fucking dumb. But like maybe getting back to that idea, like the love is gonna allow him to break up with his abusive partner, aka the American government. He's saved by what the fuck is her name? Co. Yeah.
I love how when he's rescuing all the POWs, too, that Russian guy shoots the fucking one of those little POW guys in the like I guess in the spine and the bottom of the hips. Like just
as they're getting in.
It's just so gratuitous, everything.
Yeah. I still think it's a little tame though. Like I don't want to press on that too much because I think I've made my my point or whatever, but
yeah, like it's so you're right. There's a lot of quick cuts and like very very little actual blood. And I think it could skirt a rating now.
Yeah. Like well, I was thinking about how Verhoeven would have filmed that like shot in the back scene and we'd be
screaming the whole helicopter ride home.
There's a politics to violence though, right? Like if you linger on the consequence of it, then you can't really celebrate with Rambo, like
yeah
it's gotta be actually clean.
Yeah,
it's true. Because the action has to continue to move. Like you have to be on this like I'm on this fucking mindless ride with like super Russian helicopters and shit, right? Like I gotta keep going. Yeah, I can't be held back by that guy that got shot in the spine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got stuff to do. Uh, yeah. And what was it? Chekhov's rocket launcher. No, okay, we already covered that.
Yeah.
No, but also like Chekhov's mentioned like early on when they're rhyming off what Rambo's capable of. It's like I see here from your file that he rhymes off all the things and he includes like capable of flying helicopters. So we were like, oh, okay, there's going to be a helicopter filing thing later. But this was it was like credit due. It was when that big Russian helicopter comes out, I was like, "Oh boy, how are you going to deal with that, Rambo?"
I know, and also like, first of all, a couple things like, where did they get these helicopters?
I thought about that too. Yeah.
Kudos to the helicopters and miniguns and shit. Like,
yeah,
and filming that, like, that's outrageous. You don't fucking see that in movies anymore, or it's fucking CGI.
Yeah, it'd be all CGI. Yeah, so I'll give. I think there's definitely. So yeah, you're speaking with you, or both of you, and you're right. Like Stallone's action in this is good, even though I think the plot is dumb. And this final action sequence with the helicopters, like that's really hard to do. I'm kind of curious how they like. It's not impossible. They just had other helicopters flying around, allowing them to get the shots, but can't be easy to do that steady and cut it all together and make it work. And
they do. Also that giant fucking military helicopter. Also, like, who's piloting that in action sequences, and also why were they allowed to use that?
Here's my theory on that. Well, like, I mean, Hollywood and the military have had a long relationship together. Like, it's not conspiratorial or weird to say that. It's a truth.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And so they were just like, yeah, we'll put it on loan. That's fine. And I see your script is sufficiently patriotic.
Yeah.
Here you go. And I would imagine, like, I don't know for certain because I don't know anything about helicopters, but my thinking was that they just took an American helicopter and painted it like it was a Russian helicopter.
Yeah, that's obvious. That probably would be the way to go.
Yeah.
Put some stickers on it or whatever.
Yeah, because it's still a Cold War, right? So they're not going to go to Russia and, can we borrow one of your attack helicopters?
Yeah, that's a funny helicopter. That is, like, from a practical standpoint, that's a god awful machine. Like, what would that have been used
very
for?
Very frightening. Well, it's I don't know. It's used for fucking strafing forests.
Straight up war, like, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you tend not to see, like, people think about jets a lot and tanks and stuff, but yeah, that's a vicious beast. Very, very ugly. Just like this movie. So I don't know.
Well, you know what? A lot of the Stallone is notorious for his acting. His acting is, like, say what you want, he's a bad actor. He's a fucking bad actor. Like, period. He might be. I'm sure he's a great screenplay writer. He's a fine director. I mean, we know what he's capable of. He's capable of fucking. He's an Oscar award winning. And he does have some chops, but, like, really overall, he's limited. He has like, whatever the fuck's going on with his face. And his general lack of any fucking type of expression. It's just not. He's missing a lot of tools that a normal actor would have. and I feel like that also, like, that's a huge fucking wedge in any attempt that he makes in any movie. And then I feel like it's really on showcase here. But I don't know. For whatever reason, he manages to. That gets subverted in the first movie somehow, and I don't really understand how. I think maybe it's just Brian Dennehy being an absolute fucking rock star in that movie.
Yeah, and he doesn't talk a lot. Actually, in the first movie, like, the more the movie goes on, the quieter he gets because he's just in reaction mode for the most part.
Well, I think it's as simple as this. He wears a shirt for the majority of the movie, and in this movie, he slowly just works his way towards being, like, fully unleashed.
Yeah. You're saying he's eye candy, so like you don't need the acting chops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
The worst part is he's obviously 5'8" and 165 pounds.
Oh, well, that's
So
like
it's
6'2" for Italians.
So weird.
It's like the Michael Jordan of Italian.
Exactly.
Even the old crumpled back halfway to retirement actors look fucking bigger and stronger.
I think it comes down to like how the movie was shot. This movie's so bright. It's very open. Like it is on location, but like I'm even looking in the warehouse here where he's about to stab the Napier guy, Murdoch, and it's a big space. Like it's just all these big spaces every time he goes. And like one thing about the original Rambo movie is like even when it was in the forest, it was very claustrophobic. It was a very closed in movie, and the movie like gave you a sense of like what Rambo was going through at the time. And yeah, and it's not even the money. It's not even like the bigger things. Because I feel like the first Rambo movie is more, I don't know. I was gonna say it feels bigger, but no, this had an attack helicopter in it, so I'll take that back. But anyway, I think it just comes down to how it's shot. I like how much the movie displays Stallone's body, and also the way that it inverts. The first movie wanted people to feel sorry for Vietnam vets. This movie wants you to
Feel
treat
shame.
them as
Yeah.
shame, and then also view them as heroes, and then like I already said, like support the troops. It's okay to love Vietnam. It's okay, and then big surprise that Reagan was like, yeah, this is it. Here's a new national myth we can attach ourselves to.
You know what's absolutely fascinating? I went looking for an interview with Stallone on his politics, and I kind of believe him when he said this is like an entertainment or like no variety interview. He said he didn't know what a Republican was until he wrote this movie. He lived in a very apolitical household, and he didn't even really know the differences between the parties until Reagan came out and said Rambo's a Republican. And Stallone says, like, I just thought Rambo was a very patriotic person. I wasn't trying to make a political statement. I kind of believe him. Like there's a way that he's just, it's like a narrow focus to this message, to this movie that unconsciously like just taps into all this stuff.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with that. I think that this movie belies someone who, like, okay, fine, artist intention, put that out the window, whatever it is. But this movie indicates, and I know James Cameron's involved, but like the final product is highly reactionary, very Republican.
Yeah. Because I think this goes back, like, and something we talked about when we looked at that Eli Roth movie, Green and
Green.
Like sometimes if you're just reacting and you aren't conscious, then you're just tapping into these unconscious biases, right? Like,
like this. I don't know. You know what I need to know? Like it doesn't surprise me that the person who produced this movie is now like working hand in hand with Chuck Dixon. Who taps Chuck Dixon to do your comics. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Oh wow.
It totally makes sense. So anyway, I'm glad to watch it. I'm glad to watch any of these movies. Like I did fuss like while I was watching it, but I was like, oh, fine, this is important. Eat your Wheaties, James.
This is a real American history, real American cinema propaganda. Like,
yeah, well, it's like a Western or whatever. Like it is, and it was a big movie, and it obviously had a lot of resonance with individuals, and it certainly created a franchise that said something. I put it in the same category as the Taken franchise or something like that, where you're like, well, something a little deeper is in the mix here. Like whether or not the movies are good or bad, it doesn't really matter. Like what they're talking about, I think, is a little more interesting to me.
Oh, you're not taken.
Oh shit! The helicopter
Taken's-
unit. The helicopter unit I'm seeing right here was directed by Peter McDonald. Peter McDonald does Rambo 3. So
Oh.
yeah, so that's cool.
There's a reason to go on.
Yeah. I can't go on. I must go on. I can't go on. I must go on.
Now, all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.